So the main reason that you guys are probably not being very productive is because of two reasons. Number one, you're not being very efficient, so you're easily being distracted. Or number two, you're not optimizing your time. So, hello everyone, my name is Christina and I'm a medical student studying at Newcastle University. And on this channel, I talk about medicine, lifestyle, productivity, and self-improvement. In this video, I'm going to be talking about all things productivity, especially if you're a beginner. So in this video, I'm going to be going through the two main reasons why you're not being very productive, as well as tips on how you can overcome them. So what are the two main reasons as to why you're not being very productive? Well, number one, it's because you're easily getting distracted. So this happens when you're not very efficient with your environment. Maybe you've got your phone out, maybe you've got the TV on, stuff like that. You're easily being distracted to things around you. And number two, it's because you're not optimizing your time. So this happens when you're not choosing the right time of day to get a certain task done. So my first set of tips are going to be for helping you with distractions and helping you be more efficient with your day. So the first tip I have is to download some Chrome extensions. But the main ones that I would recommend to you guys are Momentum, Text Mode, and Stay Focused. So Momentum, I'll put a screenshot in. It pretty much has a really nice layout of a new tab. So each time you click on a new tab on Google Chrome, it has a really nice background. It has the time in massive letters and it has a little greeting for you guys as well. It also lets you put a little main task of the day. I think it says, what's your main task today or something. So each time you click on a new tab, it's kind of like a little reminder of the main thing that you're trying to achieve that day. The next Chrome extension is Text Mode. So this one is actually really, really cool. If you find that you're always clicking on adverts or maybe like colorful pictures on websites and stuff, this is a great one for you guys. So Text Mode, the way that it works is it kind of transforms all your web pages into like newspapers, which I know sounds weird, but basically all the colors, all the adverts, all the exciting stuff on websites, it pretty much like blocks them out and puts everything into black and white. And the last one is Stay Focused. So this is also a mobile app which I have on my phone as well, and I recommend this one to you guys too. You can kind of set a time limit on how long you want to spend on certain apps on your phone or certain websites. So I've used this on my phone for Instagram for such a long time, where basically I've set it to every day I only want to spend 10 minutes on my phone. You can do a similar thing on the Chrome version. If you find yourself spending like hours and hours on certain websites that you shouldn't be, this would be a great one to download, because I think when you've hit like your limit, it kind of sends you a little message to say, stay focused, go and achieve your goals or something. You can customize that message as well, so you can put whatever you want. But yeah, I really like this one too. The next set of tips I have for you guys is tips for your phone. So I'm sure you guys are aware of all the amazing productivity apps and all the apps to help you focus and study and work on whatever you've got going on. So if you want to see a video on that separately, then let me know. I'll do a whole entire video on apps that I think are great for productivity. But this is more tips to just help you stop using your phone and to stop getting distracted by your phone. So the first one is Forest, which I'm sure you guys have heard of. This is like the main productivity app. Or Stay Focused, as I mentioned earlier. So Forest, I'm sure you guys have heard of it before, but it's pretty much like you have a little tree that grows and you can set the time that you want it to grow for. So it can be like 10 minutes, 25 minutes, 2 hours. It stops you from going outside of the app. So if you do exit the app, the tree that you've set to grow will die. And it's kind of like just a little bit of motivation to not let the tree die. This is a good app. I think it's quite good to get started with, but I did find that after a while, because there's no massive stake, it's just a fake tree. It's like, well, I quickly need to check an email, or I quickly want to send a message to a friend, and yeah, I'd end up letting loads of trees die, which I feel really bad for. But I think a better app is Stay Focused, which I think I mentioned a bit before, but this one actually limits you on certain apps. If you spend more than 10 minutes on Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is, it literally blocks you out. And the only way that you can kind of go back into the app is if you like go into the settings of Stay Focused, which again, it's a bit of a faff. It's making it as difficult as possible to do the distraction, and I find that really helps. Try not to use your phone until 12 o'clock. So I know this might sound a bit extreme, like 12 o'clock, like, you pick up your phone first thing, but once I had the habit of not picking up my phone till lunchtime, and that being the first time that I see my phone, I've noticed that in the morning when I have all my important jobs to do, I get them done so much more efficiently. It's definitely something I recommend to you guys if you find that you're getting distracted on your phone a lot. But what I used to do is I used to turn off my phone and then leave it like underneath my bed, so that if I wanted to get my phone, I'd have to like go all the way upstairs and then turn it on. And so just try and make it difficult for yourself. I know this might sound a bit weird. If you just leave your phone next to you, it's so easy. So you need to make it as difficult as possible to get distracted. My next tip is to set time each day or each week for certain tasks. So I'm going to give you guys a couple examples of how to apply this. I only check my emails once a week, and that's every Sunday afternoon. I normally allocate half an hour to an hour depending on the week. Because I only spend half an hour to an hour a week, it means that I'm spending a lot less time just checking my emails. Some of my emails are quite important, for example from the medical schools, so if I see that I get a notification from them, I'll probably check that one straight away rather than leave it till the end of the week. But for most of them, they can wait till the end of the week, and it means that you're going to be more efficient in checking them. You're not going to be wasting time reading the not so important emails. It just means you're going to kind of focus on the good ones. Have an actual goal, be specific. If you find that you're struggling to be productive, it's maybe because you don't have a clear goal of what you want to achieve. So here's an example. If your goal is to, I want to play guitar, that's not very clear. If your goal is, I want to play guitar at this open mic event at the end of the month, I'm going to perform this song, that's very specific. And it means that because it's so specific, you've got, first of all, a deadline. So by the end of the month, you want to be able to play to a certain song. That means you're going to practice that song. That means you're going to practice enough times during the week so that you're ready by the end of the month. I hope you guys can see the difference there, but being specific with your goal is so important. If you've got an exam, rather than say, I want to do well in this exam, try and say, I want to get 85% in this subject, or I want to get 75% in this subject. Percentage works fine, but if you want to do like a merit or distinction or pass or whatever it is you guys have, then that's fine as well. Yeah, try and be as specific as possible. Also try and have a deadline as well. Try and tailor your environment to make sure that all your key distractions are minimized. It's also important to point out here that you should probably try and have an idea of what your main distractions are. For example, I know that it's my phone and it's normally social media. So for you, it might be Netflix. Maybe instead of studying, you always want to just watch TV, or maybe you're distracted by like friends on Snapchat. They're always messaging you in group chats and stuff. Whatever it is, have an idea of what your distraction is. You really want to find if it's possible to eliminate those distractions. So maybe deleting the apps, or if it's TV, maybe removing the batteries from the TV, unplugging the TV from the wall. Try and be creative and think of a way that you can eliminate these distractions. That way there's nothing stopping you from doing the work that you want to do, because you've eliminated all the things that might get in the way of you achieving that thing. Breaks are absolutely essential to anyone trying to do productive work. You might think that if you power through for hours and hours, do an all-nighter or anything like that, that you're being productive because you're doing more work, but more time doing work doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing better work. Don't necessarily spend hours and hours studying for something. Instead, try and spend your time being more efficient. This is why the Pomodoro technique is really effective, because you're essentially having regular breaks. So you do 25 minutes of work and a 5-minute break, and then I think after a couple of rotations, you then have a longer 30-minute break. But you don't have to stick with Pomodoro. Pomodoro doesn't actually work that well for me. What I prefer is to do 1.5 hours of like work and then have a half-hour break. That works a lot better for me. Have a play around with the time, see what works for you. Do not skip on your breaks. You might be thinking that you're getting more work done, but over time your brain will fatigue and it will get tired and it will want a break at some point. So here are some final thoughts. I definitely don't want you guys to be too hard on yourself. I've definitely been in the position before where I kind of look back on the day or look back on the week and I'm like, you know, the whole week has gone, what have I achieved? I've not managed to do anything. So try not to be too hard on yourself. The main aim here isn't necessarily to apply all of the tips I've mentioned or all of the tips that people out there have on productivity. It's more just to try and get a little bit better every single day. If you get 1% better every single day, by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better. Whereas if you get 1% worse every day, you'll almost be at 0. So definitely don't aim to be like 100%, 1000% better by tomorrow. The aim is just 1%. If you can apply one of these tips by tomorrow, that will be a massive step. If you guys want to see any more productivity videos, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what you guys want to watch. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye. For a bit, check Twitter, check Instagram.